Hey there, it's Evangeline right here at etrailer. Today, as you can see, we have the Seaflo portable toilets. These are going to be pretty interesting, and this video will be a review showing the different features of the toilets, how they compare with other portable toilets, and why you would consider these compared to other toilet options. So if you're as curious as I was getting into this, let's go. Quick overview of toilet options. I personally categorize them into 4 levels of luxury, as we can call it. So the first level of luxury is going to be what you'll see behind me. Often in motorhomes and trailers, you have a permanently mounted toilet, and then you have a black tank and a gray tank. Your second level is going to be cassette toilets, and those have removable tanks that you can dump and then put right back in. Those are semi-permanently mounted toilets. And then you have your third level, which is going to be portable toilets like this. Easy to move around, easy to dump. And finally, you have your compost style toilets. Sometimes you'll see them in the form of a bucket with a screw-on lid. They use bags or litter or other options and methods of removing the waste. So with those 4 different levels, let's talk about portable toilets. There's honestly a lot of situations where a portable toilet can come in handy. You'll often see these brought along on hunting trips where you're just in the middle of the woods and no modern restroom in sight. Or families on really long road trips with children and there's no way to get to a gas station anytime soon. You'll also see these used with small teardrop campers like this, car campers, van lifers, plenty of reasons or situations where a portable toilet can come in handy. So as icky as it might be to have a conversation about toilets, honestly, this is still a much better option than no options at all. Amongst all the different portable toilets, these Seaflo toilets really are going to be the most straightforward, straight to the point toilets you can find. So you're not going to get extra fancy features like some other brands may have, but these are going to be focused purely on function and trying to be the best without having you pay extra for features you may not need. So this is going to have 2 different components stacked together, and it is available in 2 different sizes. The main difference between the sizes is going to be your holding tank. Your larger toilet is going to have a 5.2 gallon capacity, and then your smaller toilet is going to have a 2.6 gallon capacity. And this is going to be your waste tank capacity. So what does that mean in actual real world days? Well, the numbers are going to be very different for different people, but a very concise way of saying it, and don't quote me on this, but for 2 people, this would be good for a weekend trip, and for 2 people, the larger one would be good for about 4 or 5 days. This number will be affected by if you're using toilet paper, how you're flushing, if you're using the internal pump, things like that. That pump is accessed over here, where you have your pump where you lift up and you push right down to flush from your clean water tank. The clean water tank is over here on the right, and if you remove this cap, you'll be able to fill up the water tank with your own fresh water. That fresh water tank has a capacity of 3.43 gallons, and you can just fill that up anytime. So for the smaller toilet, that's actually going to be a little bit more than what your wastewater tank can handle, and that's because both of these toilets share the same top compartment. It's just your waste compartment that's going to be different. This is what those 2 containers look like, and they have handles to make it slightly easier to carry them around. So let's start from the very, very beginning with setting up your toilet. You're going to have your waste tank, and the very first thing you want to do is undo that cap, put some deodorizer in there, and then put that cap right back in. You're then going to set up that bottom container on a level surface, usually the ground. Then you're going to get your top container, and this is going to be the toilet seat. That goes and clips onto the bottom half of your toilet. And then going over to this other toilet, since we already have the fresh water filled up, you then fill your water in there. Then you can lift up on the flush, push down. It'll push the water in, and you'll see it make a little bit of a vortex. And then in order to flush, we have this pull tab at the end that pulls, and then the water drains. Push that tab right back in, and then that creates a seal so that all that odor is contained. And when it's time to dump your toilet, you just take those steps, but in reverse. You release those handles. I like to flip them up so that they are out of the way. Then I can take off the top compartment. Checking that that valve is closed, I can then grab the bottom compartment. And then from here, I can then dump this properly. And there's two main ways to properly dispose of your wastewater. The first way is to undo that cap and then pour it into the dump drain. Many campsites will have a little sewage drain just for this purpose. The second way is to take this container over to another toilet or another bathroom, undo that cap, and just pour it into the toilet. That flow will usually flush itself, but if it doesn't, you can always just utilize the flush on that toilet. Now, we don't have any black water dump stations here at eTrailer, so this is a clean tank with just water. But to demonstrate how that might look, as well as things I would recommend you doing, is make sure as you carry your tank around, hold it by the handle with the cap facing up. Also, as you do dump it, be very careful about the direction you dump it as well, and try to get it towards the drain. Another thing to this is that other brands will have spouts that will turn around and make this a lot easier and less likely to spill. So those are other things to consider when planning out how you're dumping your tank. And with how these are designed to look a lot like your water and your fuel cans, this also makes it easier to store in different areas. Now, we do have the dimensions right here on our website on the product pages for the different Seaflo toilet sizes. But to show you what those sizes mean, we're gonna have 15 and 7/8 of an inch long. And then for width, that's gonna be 13 inches and 7/8 of an inch wide. Now for height, you're gonna have your overall measurements for the toilets, and if they're separated, those measurements will be different too, ranging from about 10.5 inches for the wastewater tank and 7 7/8 inches for the top container. So with that jug design, another big question people keep asking me as they walk by is how well does it actually hold on to the water? Do you get any leaks while using this? So I'm taking off the seat as well as the lid so that we can better see our freshwater jug and giving that a shake test. No leaks whatsoever. You are going to have to clean the bowl area to make sure that's good to go and dry before you drive away. As for the wastewater tank, my main concern was that valve. So valve down, giving a good shake, nothing spilling out whatsoever. In fact, the way that valve works is there's a gasket or multiple gaskets keeping the water in. So there's two rubber gaskets, one on each side of the valve. So if there is fluid on that valve, you'll see that as we open the valve, the gaskets will push that fluid into the tank. And then closing the valve, we have a dry valve. So what I do recommend doing is open and close that a couple times if you really want to make sure you got all the waste. There may be some fluid around the lid portion, so that's something to be mindful of. Sitting down, let's talk about what it feels like to sit on these toilets. Now, I'm 5'2" on a good day, and I don't really weigh much, and this is totally fine for me, but for taller and heavier people, they might have questions. So this does have a weight capacity of 440 pounds. And I personally really like that square design of the toilet because I think that it gives a very good level surface compared to our rounder wastebasket shaped toilets. I feel a lot more comfortable and secure on this one. Another thing to consider is the height of the toilet and what makes it comfortable for you. A lot of people prefer the height of the larger capacity tank. It's not so much how much capacity can it hold, but if it can hold them. So that's something worth considering as well. What also helps is the material this is made of. It is high density polyethylene, or HDPE. And that's gonna be similar to your hard plastic. It's a food safety material that you'll see on food containers, children's toys, things like that. That makes it something that is easy to clean as well while staying lightweight. So adding to that open and square design, that gives you that heavier weight capacity while keeping it portable. For maintenance and for cleaning, I always recommend planning around how you're going to clean this before you transport it, because like we saw, there may be some liquid particles around if you don't wipe it down. Now, as we saw, the lid and the seat are removable, and that makes cleaning a breeze. Now, we do have a lot of cleaning solutions for you here at eTrailer. Now, a lot of them are designed for your larger applications, but that doesn't mean you can't use them for a smaller toilet like this. So whether it's a cleaning solution for both the toilet that can also be used as a deodorizer, or something like this, which is an odor abate, just double check the instructions that comes with your deodorizer. Usually it's 2 fluid ounces for a 40-gallon tank. So in our tiny case here, where you have a very tiny tank, I usually just put about half a teaspoon, just barely enough to sit in there as I use the toilet. Well, it's not quite elegant to talk about toilets. It's a very important topic, and it's just a fact of life. And at this point, you really are just gonna have to choose what is the best quality of life for the situation that you are in. If I could choose, I would definitely live the height of luxury with a nice permanent toilet, a full timer at that, and a black tank and gray tank. But I do a lot of car camping and even rooftop tent camping, and that's not an option for me. So that's where a portable toilet like this will definitely come in handy and is much preferred to packing out one's own waste. So with that in mind, hopefully this video just helped explain the different features to look out for when you're comparing between all the other different portable toilet options. These Seaflo toilets are definitely going to be the entry level, straight to the point, important functions and features. Other toilets will have a spot to put your toilet paper or level indicators or a different type of spout. And those are great, but they are gonna be a little extra pricey. So if you're just starting into the category, this is a great way to start. And then at any point when you're ready to upgrade your toilet, you can do so. So one alternative is going to be the Thetford Porta Potty. They have a series of toilets, it's very popular. They've been around for a while, but you do have to pay a little extra for those extra features. So pros and cons to every toilet. Hopefully this video explained how these ones work, and that way you can choose the best fit for your journey. Now both sizes are available here on our website, whether you want the 2.6 gallon capacity or the 5.2 gallon capacity. We also carry all those different accessories, whether it's toilet paper, deodorizers for the wastewater tank. We even have little privacy tents that you can set up around your toilet. Check out our website or give us a call if you need help finding the things for you. But today, this was a look at the Seaflo portable toilets at etrailer.com. My name's Evangeline.